Thinking in public, mere Christianity, there's a sentence that stood out to me, and it is, our declaring the notion of sin to be obsolete has not diminished human suffering. I had to ask ChatGPT about the sentence because I was like, who declared sin obsolete? And then it gave the context of C.S. Lewis was alive during the late 1800s to mid 1900s. So he was in a transition period of where the church was losing influence and psychology and like diagnosis were replacing the word sin. So instead of calling things a sin, it'd be like a psychological diagnosis. It's my understanding of that. It could probably be explained better, maybe, maybe not. But my takeaway from that is basically like he's saying just because you don't call something a sin, if you call it by a different name, it doesn't reduce suffering. And also in the forward, it really provides the context that C.S. Lewis was previously an atheist, and he was sharing the message of Christianity through the perspective of his experiences and being a layman. So peer level rather than authority figure preaching, speaking down, if you will. And there's also something that stood out. And with this, I feel like sometimes we get fixated on the identification of something rather than the solution to whatever is identified. And I think sometimes whatever is identified becomes the identity. Like if someone is like, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have fill in the blank. That is why I behave this way. Or this happened to me in the past. That is why I show up the way that I do. That's why I behave the way that I do. Like distancing themselves from autonomy and personal accountability because, you know, they can't help themselves. Or like if they have a flash of a moment where it doesn't align with their values, like kind of like falling back on, well, that wasn't me, in that moment, because that's not how I want to own being. You know what I mean? But it's like it was you. Like you did those things. You just behaved in that way at that time, but it was you doing it. And yeah, that's just what came up for me.